Oh, good.
I don't know if that's good.
Pandemic and still learning Zoom, right?
Ooh, good to know.
Angie and I can tell you right now that this is them normally. We're always exhausted.
Hello,
Angie, want to
Angela.
wave your hand and say hi? She's over here. There she is. Yeah, so this is literally life with them.
You are.
every day.
You're welcome.
You're one lucky gal.
I mean, it's not every day. It's like every week.
Two lucky gals.
Two lucky gals, but we have each other.
And we try to tell them this kind of stuff, but they just don't believe us.
He was my friend first, by the way. I know him longer.
Let me get the names again. I want to just
saying.
be sure.
Absolutely, yes.
So I'm Dan.
Okay.
PJ.
Shanna. And?
And there's Angie over there. If you listen to the pod, she'll be in the background a lot, just
She's
making side
only in
comments.
the background.
Yeah.
Vital
That's
to
her
the
job.
show, Angie, by the way.
Yeah.
You're vital to the show, he says.
And to cat catching.
Yes.
She's my friend.
Yeah, Penny, anyway. I'm supposed to start off this entire meeting by apologizing for my comments last week. But I refuse because I'm adorable and I classify it as art. But I do have one comment for you that Angie approved. I truly enjoyed
That's the
playing with your
reason why I
balls.
reached back out and I said. Great conversation. And somebody else said, Mr. Garcia, I love your balls. I think it was, I don't know if it was PJ or Dan.
I love the construction of your balls.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
But we're
Listen,
still...
in all seriousness, the balls were the only thing in the game that were generic. They were off the shelf. The balls,
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
they're basically shuffleboard sliders.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And originally when I created the game, we were using a little wooden disc, like most dexterity
Oh,
games.
yeah.
Okay.
And it failed so miserably. I stopped creating. I stopped actually developing the game because when the wooden disc would hit like a little corner or something, it would just stop completely. Right?
Yeah.
It frustrated me so much. I was like, this just isn't gonna work. And one day at the
looking at
office,
his balls
during my
right
day
now.
job, I find these little sliders in a shuffleboard, and I'm like, you know what? This is exactly what the game needs. And so I just got excited again about the balls. There they are.
We all do. You can't help yourself, you know.
My favorite is the green.
Yeah. So I reach out to a company to see if we could design our own TGA balls, and the guy quotes me. How much money do you think he quotes me to create our own TGA balls?
Oh, I'm afraid to hear.
I'd say he probably quoted you something like $2,000-3,000.
Close, but yeah, it was actually $8,000.
Wow.
What?
Jeez.
So I'm like, okay,
That's a big
that's not
answer.
going to happen. And then I go on Fiverr.com, everyone's favorite, find some good talent out there. And for $150, this guy does a 3D CAD design of these amazing TGA balls. I showed him like I want to do dimples, I want to do the logo, make it look like a golf ball. And so happy with it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So, that was one of my...
I have one more comment.
Oh, okay.
There's a nice texture to your balls.
Yes.
This was all Angie approved. I'm done now.
I saw someone with a drink, so cheers. I have a drink.
Yes. See, there we go.
I told you no.
See, I'm the responsible one. I'm just doing a lot of Coke.
Okay. No,
I have this wonderful glass of water.
Well, so you already answered one of the questions I had lined up for you, because these balls are just like, a game changer. They really, like you said, like it really is one of the key components, like the heart of the game in a way.
Yeah, in fact, the factory agreed to include them in the game and not actually charge me anymore. I mean, obviously they're making their money. We were able to put in a larger order.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm super excited. I apologize to Kickstarter backers that paid the $5 extra.
Yeah, it is
But
what it
hey,
is.
you know what? They made it happen. Really, Kickstarter was amazing because obviously without that, I'd have no chance to be where we are right now.
Yeah.
Right.
And they, I mean, more than half of the orders, it added the $5 extra to get the custom TGA balls. So it was so just everyone wanted them. So I said, can we work it out? So now the base games moving forward are going to have those included. So
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
all. That's
Well,
so
and
cool.
that's something I appreciate about all games is when you have the little details. I think that kind of just adds to the beauty of your game. If you don't put that kind of detail in, then it just kind of feels hokey. Like even the new Betrayal 3rd edition versus the original, while people complain about like how creepy the people look, I appreciate that detail in the painting of those characters, because the new edition, they're not painted.
Yeah, the minis.
And so, like, that like, detail is so important to me.
Yeah.
That just bothered me. It was like these, the ones in the base game are just generic. You could buy them on Amazon, and it's just like that was the only piece that we didn't, wasn't our custom to the game.
Yeah.
So it came around way after I had already started the Kickstarter and everything. It came up, so. But thanks to Fiverr and some great people on there, for $150, we were able to...
Versus 8,000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, talk about a win.
Yeah.
So my first question for you is, why golf? And I don't mean that in any rude way. We do say that you should kickstart a new version that's mini golf and has edgers and everything, because I need that. Like when we go bowling, I like bumpers when we go bowling. But why golf?
Probably if I had thought about it, I probably would have never done it, because
That's honest.
I feel like gamers, you kind of either like sports or you don't, right? And this is, just speaking like I'm a transparent guy. It's like you're either a geek or a jock, kind of thing, right? Mm-hmm. And it's rare to find kind of like that middle ground. Mm-hmm. And then dexterity games is also one of these things where either you love them or hate them. It's kind of like polarizing. It's like, dexterity game, they're stupid. There's no strategy, So if I would have thought about it, I probably would have never done it, But people ask me this question. I'm like, I don't know where it really came from. I actually love Pitch Car. I love Pitch Car.
Oh, Pitch! I want to play that one.
Yeah, and I just started to mess around with like a flicking game, and then the golf thing, it really just came out of nowhere. I love golf. I suck at it like most people.
Hey, you're with us on that.
Yep.
I'm here in South Florida, so we can play all year round, and I play maybe once a month, and I've been playing for 20 years. So I love the game, and I have sons that I've tried to get into the game, but they're both musicians. Like they're like, again, so it's like
excellent choice.
Yeah.
What do they play?
And my youngest son became a co-designer. It was like the last thing I ever imagined, because he's not a golfer. So I really don't know why golf. It was just it just kind of one of those happy things that just came together really well.
Well, I think it's cohesive too, because even your tiles, they're not square. I like the idea they're kind of like octagonal, close to that kind of circular shape. So it just, I think it all pieces together very nicely. It's very cohesive.
I like it.
Thank you.
That's all I got. You're welcome.
Well, just real quick, the original version was puzzle pieces. So they were 7-inch puzzle pieces.
7-inch puzzle pieces.
I would love that.
I saw a picture of that in one of your early rule books. I'm like, that's really neat.
Yeah. But they end up having more edges and also there's constraints to how you put them together, because the puzzle pieces out.
Yeah. Right.
With Hexagon, it's unlimited. There's no limit to how you design the course. There's no constraints. So, I'm happy that it did evolve to that, but it wasn't the original design. So we did go through a couple of different kind of prototypes.
Did the puzzles make it like harder to flick then? Would the balls get stuck?
Yeah, wherever the puzzles kind of join, that creates like another crease and
groove. Yeah.
So initially I thought I had to have something that kept the pieces together, right? That makes sense. So I thought you have to. Now people were giving me ideas like you have to have magnets or you have to have Velcro. But all obviously bring up the cost, and also they just make more. It just makes it difficult. So I said, let's just try it without anything. And my thing was that changed my whole world was playing on a rubber mat, playing on a good playing mat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's really, this game does need that. If you play on a wooden, table surface, it's going to slide a little bit. They're going to move.
Yeah,
we've had that issue, but
we have a fleece blanket.
That's their excuse, but Angie says they were just terrible at golf.
I mean, that's part of the problem. But.
You said you wouldn't tell.
She said it last week on the podcast.
We have a fleece blanket down, and it reduced the sliding quite a bit, but we still had a little bit of the tiles sliding around.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad though. Yeah, not at all.
I take a play mat and literally turn it upside down. So the rubber side, which is the I turn it upside down, and they don't move at all. It's just the best. It's just the best thing for the game. Yeah.
I saw someone on Facebook. He's very active in the Facebook group. Has the rubber carpet grips, and he uses that on his table. I think that's just a genius idea
Ooh,
too.
that is a
It
smart
is.
idea.
For $12 a roll, you
Yeah.
get you get that, and we've used it too, and it works great. Yeah, it's just something that obviously stabilizes them because they don't have any kind of mechanism to keep them together. So.
You have a lot of that in the basement because I decorate. With
I know,
yes.
with the grips.
Rubbermaid grips. Yes, the covered grips. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is my
Yeah.
entire basement.
They're also called like area rug grippers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Same kind of thing. Yeah.
One thing I really want to know is this is your first board game, first Kickstarter, all that. A successful Kickstarter. On our end as backers, it went extremely smoothly with you being open in communication and all that. And through your communication, we could tell that it was a learning experience for you, but you seem to handle it so well. So, like, how are you feeling right now? Like, congratulations first off. And how are you feeling?
The gray hairs were already here, but but I've got a few more in the last. It's been amazing. I'm a marketer by trade, so I think that obviously helped me to the pre-launch. But I have really no idea what I was getting into. There are so many things I've learned, and in fact, I'm trying to put a little bit of a course or something together for Kickstart My Game where I could help other people. Because when I was doing this, there's a lot of stuff out there, but not a lot of it was really helpful.
Yeah.
And I launched and tried to do this whole VIP program that literally after I launched, I had to fix the whole thing in order to provide the discount that I told people that they were going to get. So it could have been a fiasco. It could have just been just like really bad. But I do appreciate what you said, and I've had such great backers. I don't know if it's just me or the community itself, the board game community. I think we all know the gamers that are just super, just I don't know, they don't really give you too much of it. But I've had great people, man. I've had just so many people just encouraging me, and just I think that through the transparency that I've had about delays and issues and things like that. And then one guy said, "Hey, in a Kickstarter, this is the fastest I've ever gone a Kickstarter. Literally in 6 months."
I agree.
It's really quick.
Yeah, that is really quick.
So we had the prototype done. We had everything done. Literally, it's just a matter of China getting it to here, which is not always easy. And I'm a small guy, so my order to me is big, but to them is nothing. And to the warehouse, it's nothing. And to everyone else, it's nothing. And literally, this is my whole life at this point. So it's been a tremendous learning curve, and I want to pass it on. I want to pay it forward and help people also, because first time, actually 11 years ago, I tried a Kickstarter. Literally, Kickstarter had just started. And it was a little sports, it was sports related also. And it was I called it the Drinking Coaster Sports League. So it was 2 coasters, and it was a boxing game, and you lay one on top of the other. So you're like one guy's the puncher, one guy's on defense, and you lay them on top of each other. And there was a little die cut, and the die cut shows whether you scored the punch or missed it. Simple little kind of like rock, paper, scissors game.
Yeah.
So, it was cool. I did a video. I had the illustrated tiles. Everything was great. And I ended up getting $45. 7 backers, $45. So I learned a lot, and I definitely attribute a marketing background to what we did this time compared to last time. But having said all that, I think the game, you just look at it, and I don't have to say anything, right? You don't need to watch the video. You can see one picture or one 3-second video, and you kind of get it.
A little bear. Or a chompy alligator.
So I think that again, if I would have really thought it out, I probably would have, failed. It was just something, kind of serendipity. Really, it just kind of came together. And I think when people see the video in 3 seconds, they get oh, this is cool. It's a dexterity golf game, and that's it. It's like, off you go. We have a 23-page rule book. You could just throw it out the window. You don't really need it. All you need is that little hazard reference card, and you can play the game.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That thing was awesome, by the way.
Those reference cards are amazing. I'm so glad that there was one in there.
With all the games we play, it's like, what happens now? What happens? I forgot. Dig it out. Go through the rule book.
Yeah, and that was a cool thing too. Like how is this game? Because people say, oh, you should put rough, surface for the rough, and you should put some kind of sandpaper for the sand.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I don't I understand where they're coming from, but imagine trying to roll anything through that. It would stop. It would always
Right.
stop, right? So the idea is in this game, even though it's rolling on the ground, like in golf, it should be going through the air. It should be. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's where it lands that matters. It's not what it goes through. And so then we were like, well, how do we make it different? And so it came up to all the different fingers and all the different distances and that kind of stuff. So
well, and I had mentioned this game to my students in passing, and I was explaining it to them. And they said, well, could he enhance it where they put like little trees and little figurines on? And I said, guys, I think that'd be a terrible idea. I think the beauty of it lies in the simplicity of the game. Because if you have little figurines and you try to hit a ball, it's going to knock it over. Yeah. In real life, a golf ball is not going to knock over a tree. Like, so I just feel like it would get in the way of the enjoyment of the game, you know?
If it does, you're playing with Clark Kent.
True story, yes. Superman could do it.
Really? Oh, wow. Well, then...
We're nerds, by the way.
Hey, I love nerds. That's all it's all about.
But I also like sports. Playing sports. Playing sports.
Right? Yeah, but what I said was true. I mean, usually it's kind of like you're just, one or the other. But if you put trees or anything on the course, obviously it's going to interfere with it. And then it becomes like a miniature golf game. I really was trying to get something that made you feel like you're playing golf. I really want something. So what's cool about this game is a lot of people that have bought it never played golf. They don't even know what par means. I'm like,
oh, wow.
So I was like, how much do I have to explain in the rule book about golf? And I go into some detail, and I say, if you really want to know all the rules, go online and figure that part out. Yeah. But I wanted to kind of create the nuances of golf and not just make it just kind of like a silly, miniature golf game.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. I agree with all that. And I think that's a great way to approach the topic and everything.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, and I, like you, I love golf. I'm also extremely horrible at it. But, yeah, I mean, you have everything there, just there on the tabletop. You still get the camaraderie, of course. Down here, I can't smoke my cigars. But
no, not in this house.
I'm a big cigar smoker myself.
When you're on the course, you have to have at least one.
Yes, absolutely.
While you're fishing your ball out of the water, riding on your golf cart.
That's the best part.
Yeah, that's why we play. Those are the stories. Those are the real stories.
Those are the real stories. Right. That's where a sportsman comes in. They're like strong enough to swim out the water and fight the alligator to get the ball.
My favorite actual golf story was going out with my brothers and my dad getting so mad that he threw the golf club, and there was a guy in front of us. 4! Well, what was that, Dad? It slipped out of my hands. Slipped. Sure.
Yeah, that'll do some damage. You get hit with a golf club.
Yeah,
that's gonna leave a mark.
Luckily, it fell very short, but still, it's like, come on.
Yeah. Continue on with this. How long do you think it took you for start to finish for this game?
Start to finish was probably 2.5 years.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, 2.5 years. We probably had a good half a year of me drawing them on wooden, going to the craft store and coloring them and forcing my brother and my family to play.
Yep.
No, trust me.
It'll be fun, I promise.
It's going to be fun.
We hate going out on the
not
course.
this again. Ma.
But literally 2 years to the day was the first email I sent to China. And
wow.
It was a Google search. I had no idea, right, who to reach out to. And I reached out to I don't know how many, but a couple of them got back to me. And one of them was this one that I used. And I looked them up, and even now the website is kind of vague. It's kind of like it's kind of like, and then next thing you know, she'd say, okay, it's $400 for a prototype. Pay me on PayPal. To her name.
Oh.
I'm like, okay. And man, listen, this factory has been amazing every single day. The next, 12 hours ahead, next day I get a reply. It's been another blessing. I think I kind of got lucky there as well. And they were the factory that asked me for the minimum order of 500. Normally they ask for 1,000 or more.
Yeah.
So they also had the lowest minimum order. So it was, it was good. That was great on that part as well.
Oh, wow.
But yeah. From that first email, it was literally 2 years ago. I looked it up, not recently. That it's from that first email for the quote to where we are today, and before that, it was probably 6 months in the kind of just this kind of process.
Wow. So I think you might have answered my question. My next one, which was, how do you come up with the idea of wooden hexes and like of that size too? Because I said in our review, like they're a lot bigger than I thought they would be.
Yeah.
Yes, Angie, thank you for giggling. His wood is a lot bigger than I thought.
Oh my!
So how like instead of cardboard?
No, but I want to add one more thing. It's very thick wood too.
It is
very thick.
So how'd that all come about?
Yeah, the original version was 7-inch wooden puzzle pieces because when I went to the craft
he
store,
said 7 inches. Original design was 7 inches.
I love these people. Well, you know how guys measure 7 inches. It's different than.
It might be more, might be less. I don't
know. So it was actually 7 inches, and that's because that's what they had at the craft store. That's it. That's literally all I could find. So that didn't work. The puzzle pieces just kept really crashing initially it was a wooden little disc.
Yeah.
And then games like Catan had an influence on me because it's like terrain tiles.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Small World. Small World has an expansion called Realms. And Realms has these really cool cardboard tiles that you create a map. So you could create your own map instead of using the board. And and there was actually an area rug at the office, and the area rug had these hexagon tiles, and each one had a different. And I'm like, this is it right here. I'm like, I don't need this.
Looking right at it.
Signs everywhere.
Signs everywhere. It's like, Josh, hello.
I think of bees, honestly. The bees are always right.
What's really neat is you see a lot of you see a lot of video games that do the whole gathering resources and stuff using this, like the Sid Meier's Civilization games have focused on that heavily as well. Mm-hmm. So that's something that's in the way of game development. People
hex tiles,
the hex tiles.
Yeah.
I mean, you just kind of a lot of people gravitate towards that because you have so many possibilities when it comes to making that map.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we're actually kind of messing around with some other ideas now with the hex because it actually became the first like kind of modular dexterity game. And when I was creating the game, I said you can't have a golf course that's static. It can't be the same course all the time.
Oh yeah, that's boring.
That was a non-starter right there. So it was like, how do I create something that people can actually make their own courses? Like, to me, that's half the fun. Some people feedback was they didn't like it. It takes too much downtime. You're setting up the course.
That was actually going to be a question I asked you: is how do you pick between a static course versus which would have less setup time versus more setup time for building your own? And
because
I don't
and it really does seem like a no-brainer to me.
Like,
but
Terramable City versus TG, like there's no comparison. This is easy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't see this as taking a lot of building time.
Yeah.
I didn't find this very hard to put
and
together.
I hate tedious board games like that. He has to build it all for me or else I won't come.
I found it. I think it was more fun for us building the holes
Puzzles
and trying
are fun.
to screw each other over as best as we could, including ourselves, which happened a lot.
Well, that's the thing. No matter what you build, you have to play it through, and that's why you build it tough, but you're gonna have to go through it too.
That's right.
Yeah, I think with the hex tiles, it's so easy to put it together, and then they're double-sided, so you could just flip a couple of tiles, and you create a whole new course. So the double-sided thing was also something from the very beginning. The wood, I don't know. I may have had a conversation with the factory about plastic, and it was about the same price.
Okay.
And plastic kind of, you can have some flat edges on plastic, but it has like these little, you'd have to kind of literally file it down.
Yeah.
Like
this,
that's
true. And the printing, the little ridges.
It's a whole nother process to get. So I think golf, and golfers in general, and I just think any gamer actually, you appreciate good quality, right? Like, $75, $85, $95 price point, and they're like, "Oh, you crazy?" Well, they're probably not a real gamer. Because like Crokinole and things like that are gonna last. This game could literally last it could last you.
Yeah, definitely.
And so I love that, it's a golf theme. I think golfers in general, they'll pay for the good stuff, and I wanted something that, not only that, those little, you're flicking and this thing is sliding over the board. It has to be durable or else it's going to,
for sure.
Well, and plastic can warp so easily, and it can become brittle depending on temperature, heat versus cold. Yeah. So, for me, this is just a win right here.
Yep.
It's just better. And you mentioned, the idea of cost for board games. he messaged me yesterday saying, "Honey, there's a board game that's on Supercell right now. It's not like 300. It's something else."
Yeah, Sleeping Gods, which I haven't seen for under 120 in probably 2 years, was $61 yesterday. I'm like, I need to get this game now.
And he goes, "Can I get it for my birthday?" Because his birthday comes after mine. His is in February. And I go, "Happy birthday. I have no idea what I got you, but I'm done. I'm done. That was easy."
There you go.
But I know, like, if he gets excited, then it has to be on sale because we're used to buying expensive board games.
Yep.
So
and you know what? It is expensive. I mean, you're talking about the cost, but then shipping from China is super expensive.
Yeah.
Then there's a cost for receiving it. Then there's a cost for picking and packing it. Then shipping. My average shipping price was $22. I didn't always collect $22 from every backer. So I learned also in Kickstarter, you don't collect shipping as part of the pledge, which I did, for 2 reasons. One, Kickstarter takes 5% of all that money, so they're literally taking your shipping money.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
And then the other thing is you're paying taxes on money of something that is not actually, that you have to have a hard cost on. So a lot of lessons learned on that side as well. But I'm looking forward to sharing that with other people and hoping first time board game designers as well. So.
Well, I don't think cost should be an issue because it's going to have longevity. I don't mind paying extra money for something if it's going to last.
Absolutely.
Know?
Yeah. And
I mean, we do have every now and then there's a tile that's a little bit warped. It is, we did make it as thick as we actually could, but it is kind of still, subject to elements if you do get it like severely wet or cold. But I would say 99% of the tiles have been flat, and we've had a couple of people throwing the Kickstarter, and I say, hey, send me a picture, we'll replace it, and that's my word. And that's what I'm going to do. So if you get a game within 30 days, you have a warped tile, let me know. We're going to replace it. You guys had a broken trophy. The trophy was broken a lot, actually, initially. Really? And we weren't bubble wrapping it. So the factory said, we'll bubble wrap it, no extra charge. I said, fine, we'll bubble. So even with the bubble wrap, they'll break because the wood, it's heavy in the box. Yeah, so that could still, but we may get a little bit stronger trophy for you guys.
We'll test it for you.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, my whole thing is like we all play games, right? At the end of the game, somebody wins, everyone else loses.
Yep.
And it's like you put it away. It's like you're done, and that's cool. But I was like, I want something that even if it's goofy, even if it's trivial, something that you could rub in the other person's face. I was a competitive kid, and my just sports is like in my blood. So that you have to win something. Where's the trophy? So. That's where that kind of happened.
All right, so next time we play, after you get that trophy, the person
after I get the trophy, that's right.
Whoever wins the next game, they're gonna have to take a nice sip of scotch out of that trophy.
There you go.
Oh, okay.
Wash it first?
Yeah, right.
You're gonna wash it first? Yeah, you probably should rinse it out.
No. See, that's when you get the full flavor and everything. That Florida flavor.
Angie, I suggest we don't kiss our men.
Yeah, exactly. Every big,
exactly.
trophy.
The cup is to drink out of it.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. We might have to supervise that game.
We'll have to supervise it, and if we see them sharing the cup, we just don't kiss them afterward.
What?
Nope.
Well, hold on here. I'll toast to you with my Coke.
On that note.
But you're not sharing cups because he's in Florida. Fun fact.
Where are you guys?
We're in Pennsylvania, but my doctorate is actually out of St. Thomas University from Miami Gardens.
Yeah. My nephew's about to start there.
Cool.
I'm from Jersey, by the way. You should probably
I can hear it. Yeah.
I'm from Jersey too. Yeah.
I've been here almost 20 years. It doesn't go away.
Yeah, my mom was born I think she was born in Bloom, but she was raised in New Jersey, and he was born in New Jersey too. Yep. So.
And then he was raised here, and I am unfortunately just a full product of Pennsylvania.
Here, yeah. I'm not. I'm in forever. My dad was in the Air Force. He was a lifer, so I actually have a very thick New England accent, but I learned to hide it.
Yeah, I didn't see that. I didn't hear that.
Oh no, it's pretty obvious when I'm really tired. You can ask me.
Yeah, it's there. It's there.
Or if I get really angry, it comes out.
It comes out.
I think the New England accent is really fun to do and just mess with people. So what are you doing there? Hey, get back in your cat.
Yeah, I love it.
Not so Boston though. Most New Englanders hate Bostoners. Like the accent.
I know, because I went to Boston and I went, oh, this isn't a bad town. People, on the other hand, well, nah, they're not bad.
No, they
They're
have
fine.
great pubs to drink in.
Oh my
Boston's
gosh,
fun.
Oh, I had so much fun when I was drinking up there.
I'm a Yankee fan, so Boston is not on the top of my list. But the city is amazing. The city is amazing. It's a great city.
See, I'm a Philadelphia fan, so.
So my question was going to be, are you thinking about any more games that you're going to make? But since you're into, baseball, your next game could be a baseball dexterity game. So then Angie and I have so much more fodder about sticks and balls. High five.
Well, I do have something to show you guys, which I think you'll appreciate, because we are working actually on a couple of different I would say additions. So this is an idea. See, like, this is an idea that failed from the beginning, and I haven't said. But this tile is a glow in the dark tile.
Oh, that's great!
I like that idea.
And this whole set glows in the dark, and it's pretty cool.
That would be so much fun.
Blacklight edition.
Yeah.
Because we do events at bars and breweries and stuff like that, and sometimes there's low lighting, and I was like, well, what if we had a glow-in-the-dark thing? So it's really cool, but it's kind of too novelty, I don't think, and it actually doesn't raise the price by much. But, it's something that we have in the works. And then I want to show you this.
Add to cart.
I was going to ask you about, is that the pub oversized edition?
This thing is 12 inches.
12 inches, Angie.
Oh my God.
He couldn't even get it out.
Like you just knew. I just want to say anything over like 10 inches is overkill. So.
Okay.
I want it to be noted how I'm
we do have a
keeping
10-inch
this
edition.
I like that. That's so cool, though.
This we're gonna call it the pub edition, or some kind of, because I think Jenga and cornhole and you're just sick of it. You just go to these places and it's like, but if we could have this in a sports bar in a brewery,
so cool.
And we've tested it. It's amazing. People love it. And it has big balls.
I was gonna ask.
The balls are much bigger.
I'm sorry, I think I just heard AC/DC play. Who's got big balls? We've got big balls.
That's gonna be. I'm gonna put that on the social media post.
I love it. Go. I love it.
We got big balls. Yeah. So
you can't handle my balls.
The only problem with these big balls is they crack easy because the ball bearing is so heavy. Plastic. But this plastic is actually 3D printed. They assured me that when they actually mass produce these, the plastic would be much stronger, so they should break.
Okay.
And we are working actually on a cardboard edition, and that's always kind of been against everything we just said.
Yeah.
But not everyone can pay $95 retail for the game. And if you have kids, we were thinking like a family edition, because if I did get any pushback, it was kind of the pricing. Every now and then people are like, that's just crazy, I'll go play real golf. Yeah, you could play maybe one round.
Yeah.
You could play maybe one round. But
Exactly.
This game you
pay
can play
$95 and you have the game forever. Like, you think about that too. Like, if someone is doing a business and they're trying to sell their beauty, their dream, their game, you're buying one and then you're done. You're not going to go back and buy another set unless you've heard it. Like, I think of that $100 price mark as helping the person who has invented the game, because if they made a good one, you're not going to buy another set unless they have add-ons or something.
Yeah. There's no doubt. I mean, this could be something like we've had people say like, I'm going to pass it down to my kids. That makes me feel nice. Feel good. Like, it's something that could be kind of like not an heirloom, but something that can last so long enough. So that if your kid likes it, they keep. But the cardboard edition is going to literally be half price. So it's something that maybe we're thinking, if you have kids and they're going to destroy it anyway, because we've seen the kids in the videos and they love it too. Kids love this thing.
Oh, yeah.
Our 2-year-old loves it.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Alex.
awesome.
He was the first one to play it.
I've seen as little as 4 years old, and kids, obviously hyperactive, and so. But this game, they get to kind of like chill out for a minute, kind of like put it together. Like, I've seen them like kind of focus, if you will. For a kid, like I donated the game to a kid that is autistic. He's high on the spectrum, plays no board games except chess, and his mom said this is the only other game he plays.
Wow.
I'm a gifted teacher, so I appreciate that because I think the dexterity games are better because it uses a lot of mental processing and spatial reasoning. So my students actually appreciate these kinds of games and puzzles because there's a little bit more in terms of what's happening in their brains. It's more of a push for them, more of a challenge.
And I'm a special ed teacher, and I appreciate it because it gets, especially students with autism, like gets them socializing with, and really expressing emotions and things like that. So it's,
we do the opposite spectrums.
Yeah. And I'm not like, there's still a chance that I might become a board game, a game therapist. So sorry, I just bumped the table there. But but yeah, a regional administrator in our area, he recommended me for as a board game therapist, and so
that's amazing.
Yeah, so I'm hoping.
Listen, if you guys we could take it off, but if you want to, I want to have a donation or a charity, something for that specifically, where we're giving games to schools and especially special ed and autism. So
these are all safe too, which I
look
appreciate.
into your local CDC office, because that's who I was recommended to. The local CDC office, they were looking for like a new therapy thing for students with autism. So that's who I would reach out to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I think the game has that opportunity as well. Like, we're looking at sporting goods stores. So like Dick's is actually reviewing the game and they like it.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Golf Town up in Canada. So like there's another one, I forget, in the Midwest. But the game, right, it has that potential where it could be in a golf store. It could be in at least the golf section of a golf store.
Absolutely.
It really is universal. Like, it's fun for literally anyone, whether you like golf or not, to just slide this thing down the green.
And if it's raining outside and you can't go out golfing, let's do it on the table.
Yeah, that's true.
That wording was
Do you want
wrong.
to rephrase that?
No. I looked at Angie. That one wasn't even on purpose, but Angie gave me a look and I was like, yeah, you're welcome.
So
I got one more in there.
PJ, I think we're going to have to invest in the larger edition.
I don't know. Well, it's strictly for sports bars and pubs.
That's okay. I'll pay it.
I read it on the website.
I'll pay it.
We are thinking it's more of like a commercial edition. It's going to be about 220 or 250. They're not cheap right now.
That's actually not bad.
That's
though.
not bad at all.
That's not bad.
Yeah, because we're not making them like mass produced, but they're beautiful and they're like.
I want the glow in the dark ones.
Yeah,
he's allowed to hold his wood and be proud of it. It's 12 inches, Angie.
And his balls.
He's over here laughing. I'm not sure you can hear her.
This one.
Oh, he's going to show you even more, Angie.
Oh shit.
Well, no. So this is slightly smaller, and this is the one that we're
there
probably
you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
But see, this one has like this really cool, like almost like a plastic coating, and it's it like if you have a pool table, forget the pool. You won't play pool again. You put these things on there.
Would you say that's about 10 inches?
It's 10 inches. Yeah.
Thought so. Yep.
Yeah, it's like just slightly over 10 inches, but yeah, you're a pretty good gauge of.
It's slightly over 10 inches.
Exaggerate.
This is sad when I'm the cleanest one in the room.
Oh, that is weird.
I know.
That is weird.
It actually feels weird because usually I'm the uptight one. Everyone be good.
Way to be awkward, Dan.
Yeah, Dan, way to bring down the
Look,
entire
I'm an
class
actor,
stronger.
okay? If we're not awkward, we have some kind of weird thing going on with her mind, and in my case, I'm both.
I'm a teacher who works with middle schoolers most days, so I think I just have accrued the middle school mentality.
I work with high schoolers, so I really have a
They're poisoned.
I just joined the crowd.
I'm just an educated drug dealer.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's true, yeah.
She works at a pharmacy. We should probably make sure to clarify.
Nah, it's more fun to keep people guessing.
That's why you say
Yeah.
educated.
Educated, yeah. Oh, boy. So do you have any questions for PJ or Dan?
Well, I mean, I came across you guys just because of your purchase, but tell me a little bit about kind of how you got to do this podcast and what's...
So, we've been friends since the 7th grade.
Dan and I have been friends since 3rd grade.
Yep.
beat him.
I did. I always do.
Almost 24 years.
Yeah.
Hey, 30 years for you and me. Just about. That's right.
Wow.
So,
He's my longest relationship.
yep.
This is true.
He is.
But yeah, we've known each other since grade school. Our thing has always been games. Started out video games, and we dabbled in board games, but he really got into the board games here.
Yeah, I got into it in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A friend introduced us to Dungeon Fighter, Terran Meeple City, and King of Tokyo all in one night.
I have no memory of King of Tokyo.
Yeah. And
you're like
yeah, I'm like, holy crap, this is the best night ever. And immediately went home and ordered those 3. And ever since then, I've been hooked into the hobby. Now we have over...
A lot.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm an English teacher. A lot.
Excuse me.
We
have like...
Right on me.
Yeah.
You're welcome. I'm not going to do it to my wife.
I feel like this is math where you go, like, the limit does not exist. That's what we say about your board games.
Yeah.
The limit does not exist.
So
it just goes all the way around, and there's upstairs, and there's the attic, too.
Well, upstairs is the kids. The attic only has
Not
2.
just no, there's
There are only 2 in the attic.
Sure, uh-huh.
Anyway,
at the moment.
Listen, once you can't count them, then you're good. You know,
Yeah.
once
right?
you-
Yeah.
Might as well keep adding.
Yeah, I only really back games now if it's something
Stop.
unique or something special, and your game definitely looked like that.
Oh, yeah.
But in terms of how I started the podcast is I was, as I immersed myself in the hobby and everything, like listening to the Dice Tower and Secret Cabal and watching YouTube videos and stuff, I was like, I want to do this too, but I want to do it more of just the stories that the games tell, not so much teaching people how to play it, but just all the ridiculous things that happen. Like every time we play D&D, someone always yells out, "Why are we not recording this?"
That was true, yeah.
And so we broke down, and over the summer we bought like a podcasting kit, and off to the races we went.
We're doing 3 podcasts now, actually, not just one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. I appreciate you guys doing this. I know how much hard work it is. I'm, again, a marketer, and I do podcasts I still have a full-time gig. And, so I know how much hard work it is. But for people like me that are just breaking in, any kind of conversation like this is always appreciated. So keep it up. We need more of these. Tom Vassell actually picked us as his game of the week in his.
Oh, cool!
That's awesome.
I was driving home and I'm listening to it, and he's like, "The game of the week." He goes, "The golf game."
Need some clarity.
That same day, we had 90 pledges.
Oh,
wow!
It was about 5 days before the end of the campaign. Our campaign went up every single day. Most campaigns usually spike in the beginning, kind of trail and
teeter,
and then go up again. We had a pretty steady growth, but he said that, and it was watched.
He's the godfather of board games. I mean, he's he's the voice. So
does he put stuff in his cheeks and talk like Marlon Brando?
Okay, everybody, we're gonna have a great board game for you tonight.
We can't get through one podcast that you doing The Godfather. Like, I don't know what it is.
I like Brando. What can I say?
Yeah,
He's
any
like
reason
my
to
hero.
that is,
any reason to do his acting.
Hey, I can't do it in Los Angeles anymore. I'm no longer there. I need to get somewhere.
That's good. No, Tom, however you feel about him, he is the godfather of the board game review industry. We met him. He had a Dice Tower East event in Orlando. He does it every year. So we were there last year. We met him. We're going to go again this year. And this year, we're going to have the oversized version in the lobby of the convention.
Oh,
very cool.
As soon as we come in, we're going to have an event. It's going to be really cool. I think it's going to be great. Yeah.
So when are you going to start selling the glow-in-the-dark version? I want that one.
I'll send you a picture. I took one the other day because I had the tiles out. You have to leave them out in the
in the light. Yeah.
Totally so functional because after about 20 minutes it goes away, and if you turn it over, the other side doesn't glow because it hasn't got any sun.
That's okay.
Yeah, but it is cool, to just freak your friends out, turn off the lights and the thing glows. Just even if it's just for the shock factor, it's like, okay, that's pretty cool.
I want them.
So, do you know when this might hit retail?
Yes, unfortunately, so it's not a secret. Fun Again Games literally just announced that they're going out of business.
Oh.
Really? Oh, man.
So Fun Again is our U.S. distributor.
Yeah.
And we're going to fulfill all of our website orders.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that stinks. So I'm scrambling right now, another couple gray hairs and, and me learning on the fly because it's not like information that's easily accessible, you know.
Yeah.
But again, they're good people. They've already referred me to a couple other places that could
good.
fulfill. So literally in February we're supposed to have a street date, and then it should be in regular board game stores. We've had about maybe 800 pre-orders in board game stores. That's pretty good.
That's incredible. That's great.
Yeah, and we've sold already well over 2,000 copies, and so like like people see it, they're gonna try it, whether they like it or not later on. So far it's been really good. So far most people have been really positive. But I think retail February, probably the third week or so, it'll be a street date.
Awesome.
Nice.
Very cool. Do you have anything else in the pipeline planned? Anything upcoming that you like? Are you designing any other expansions or things? Even if you can't talk about them, like, do you have any other ideas floating around?
Well, I was
nod and knock 3 times.
I was flicking around this tile quickly, but we are going to have a thing called the triple threat. So we're going to have 3 terrains.
Oh my gosh! Look at that.
Yeah.
I love it.
And I could send you guys, maybe we could share it, post this, but we have already all 10 designs of it, and it's really cool because it just feels even more realistic.
Yeah.
And it still works with everything that's already existing. So we're going to call it the triple threat edition. We're trying to do golf course official replica edition. So we're talking to people like Pebble Beach and things like that.
Interesting.
So like imagine if you'd have the Pebble Beach edition, of the TGA. That's my dream actually. That's
really cool.
That would be like the pinnacle of the set.
I mean, or we were thinking about the Ultimate 18, right? And have one hole from each of the most famous courses.
Oh, that would be so cool.
That would be really neat.
The Ultimate 18. But now you're talking about licensing and, a lot of legalities and money up front that I don't have. So we need another geek like me to say, hey, yeah, that's a cool idea. Let's do it. But those kind of things are something that we want to do. Right now, though, we are excited about the cardboard edition because as much as I didn't think it would work, the prototype works really good.
Yeah.
It works really good. If a kid takes it and bangs it, it's going to bend the corner. There's no doubt that it's not going to be as durable.
Mm-hmm.
But we're making that disclaimer literally on the box. These are heavy-duty cardboard, So the idea is the original version will be the Pro Edition. We're going to rename it the Pro Edition.
Okay.
And we're going to name this other cardboard one the Family Edition. I think
that's a good way to phrase it.
You think like I'm looking back here again. I always go back to my beauty of Betrayal. That's cardboard, and it's lasted a pretty long time.
Yeah,
so.
and it is like showing wear.
Yeah, a little wear and tear, but
it's surviving. Yeah, I could easily slide.
I'll give you guys the
there.
exclusive because we are close. I've been working on this for a long time, and it's a space-based dexterity game.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
Very similar mechanics where you're creating the universe with your tiles, and obviously there's comets and there's meteor showers and so similarly they'll have different effects on how you hit it and it'll be mission based, and there's a black hole.
I love it. Yes.
So there's a black hole right in the
Angie,
middle.
There's a black hole.
You can talk about his holes.
I swear,
I don't know how many inches it is. I don't know how many inches it is, but it's big.
He doesn't know how many inches, but it's pretty big. Yeah.
Well, I have one last question for you. First question, but my last question. So, do you have any advice for anybody that's trying to make their own game? For example, I had a role-playing game thought out here for a little bit. I worked on it, slipped back into a depression, kind of stopped. I'm wanting to get back in, but do you have any advice for people that are trying to do their own stuff?
Yeah, don't do it.
That's usually the advice you give an actor. Don't do this.
We did that multiple times in college.
And
Dan, take a double degree.
Listen, it's tough. I mean, one thing you have to know is on Kickstarter every month there's an average of 400 to 500 games a month on Kickstarter.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Especially in the board game section. Yeah. They're.
Now, how many Kickstarters do you pledge that are the first-time designer with no company, no track record? How often do you do that?
Well, I don't do Kickstarter that much, but what about you?
Good question.
I don't know. I think you might be the first.
Yeah.
That I've backed. Were you the first? I don't do a whole lot of Kickstarter, just because we don't have a lot of spending money to begin with, and all that. Mm-hmm. But everything I've done has either been like Gloomhaven was second printing.
Yeah, and Frosthaven.
Frosthaven is obviously just the sequel to that.
Cyanide Happiness.
All the Cyanide Happiness games. Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's messed up is Kickstarter originally was for the small guy. Now it's not. It's kind of like R&D. It's kind of like R&D for big companies. They don't need to even spend their money, right? So my advice is you have to have as fully developed a prototype as possible. If you're a first-time guy and you're trying to sell a game on an idea and some sketches, you're not going to get the funding. I mean, so we had a fully developed prototype. We had a lot of videos. We had it in reviews. Again, Tom Vassell did a review during the Kickstarter. I think without all of that, we would not have probably gotten, like the response we had. We had a lot of other things, like as far as, I am a marketer by trade, so I had a good email list going. I did the right Facebook ads, all that kind of stuff.
That's how you got me, Facebook.
Yep.
I saw a video and I was like, yeah, I'm getting that one.
The video's great.
we had about 20 per day at least signing up for our email. We did the VIP thing. We did think all that out, but I think the biggest thing is you got to have something. If you have a great idea, you got to take the bite the bullet and get that prototype done. Spend the money on getting it really well play tested. Because we went through a couple iterations before I even got to this, and we even changed some other things like the ball markers that are in the game, those little stickies.
Yeah,
they weren't in the initial game. It came up afterwards because we had a Discord channel. We had a group of people kind of watching me play, literally watching me play and giving me feedback.
Oh, that's cool. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That is
so throughout the whole process, and they were like, well, how do we do something so that 4 people could play at the same time and not hit each other's balls? Okay, well, we're going to have to come up with a marker. And it was this little sticky thing. It kind of just hit me. And I was like, stickies is cool. It comes on and off easy. Yeah. You have the colors.
Doesn't leave any residue, which is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because people were like, what about a dry erase marker? We tried like different things. I mean, literally, there was a lot of good people giving me feedback. So that's the other thing. You have the prototype, get into these communities. People are afraid to put their idea out there because someone's going to steal it. Someone's going to steal it anyway. I can guarantee you a year from now, I'm going to have to deal with that. There's going to be something else. And I do love to come up with names. So I thought, like, I need something that's close to PGA, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. As soon as as soon as you told me the title, I was like, wait a second.
Because marketing is the other half the battle. I mean, you need that little sticky, gimmicky, hooky thing. You have the game and you have the marketing, and that's, and the last piece of advice is if you can work with somebody that's been through it, I would say, try to pick someone's brain. Just because it's better. It's also good to know what not to do as much as it is to know what to do.
Right.
And I can definitely tell you what not to do.
Well, when I get further into it, I might contact you again.
Anytime. Absolutely. Thanks, Dan. Yep.
Dan, he's on here because of Angie and me. Let's just be honest.
Well, I don't know. He's finally seeing me, so...
Yeah, he's scaring him away.
I do that to everybody.
Well, you guys were very unique and keep it up. I mean, the podcast.
That's the nicest compliment we've ever gotten in our entire lives. We're very unique.
I love it.
I love it.
What games are you guys loving right now?
Always Betrayal for me.
Yeah, Betrayal's her thing. We just got her 3rd edition. We haven't played it yet.
I am not happy with it though. I'm a purist, so.
All the changes are freaking her out a little bit.
I don't like. Well, like when you go to a different. I'm worried. Like now you have to go to a different printer. They change the colors. And so the coloring of the 3rd one, it's too cartoony for me. I don't like the bright colors.
The art style.
It's supposed to be dark and dingy and the original. I know people make fun of. They laugh at the little people, but they look creepy because they're supposed to be creepy.
Right? Yeah. No, I agree with you there. There's certain aesthetics that you kind of endear yourself with, and you want to keep it the same.
Yeah.
My thing, I got Eldritch Horror for Christmas, and I played it over New Year's Eve while watching Twilight Zone, and that was like the best experience. Like I really loved that game, so I really want to teach it to him and get it going.
Awesome.
And we're both into H.P. Lovecraft, the Lovecraft mythos, and right now my favorite one that we just played, maybe 2 weeks ago on our podcast, was Cthulhu Death May Die.
Wow.
And that one, if you haven't taken a look at it, the artwork on it is incredible.
Yeah.
And
it's a CMON game, so it has really neat minis
There's
in
the
it.
box
Great
right
minis.
here, but it's behind your head.
yeah, it's actually right there.
Nice.
And the one thing I also wanted to tell you is with your game, those little character cards that you put in there, that was awesome.
Oh yeah,
That was such an awesome little element to throw in there, because when you pick up a golf game, you think like, oh, I'm just gonna, it's a dexterity game, I'm just gonna flick this and do this, but you actually gave something that gives players an edge. And the way we played it was, haha, pick a card, any card. And then you had to deal with that. It was like, great.
I mean, that was the gamer in me, right? I was thinking about the gamer. The gamer wants roll cards and kind of like, those mechanics where maybe a golf person thinks it's a little gimmicky and doesn't like it. So I make it an optional thing. But for me, the piece that I think, besides the balls, because the balls make the game.
The balls
really,
of course the balls make the game.
Yeah.
Because if you had a wooden disc, this game would just fall apart. But those balls are so cool. But besides that, it's the weather die, actually. And
Yes.
we didn't even talk about the weather.
We didn't even talk about that.
Oh,
Yeah.
There are so many good things to talk about with the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, the weather die just changes it from basically a flicking game, because someone could get good at any distance, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
no matter how much you change the course, you can say, okay, I'm going to hit it 4 tiles. I know how to hit it 4 tiles, and you would never miss.
Yeah.
But the weather, all of a sudden, it's a strong wind, and you got to move it 2 spaces. Now you really have to figure out. It's like a strategy and where you're going to hit it. Now,
Got it.
no matter how good you are, it becomes way harder because of that.
Oh yeah, definitely. And that was the one thing that I kept getting screwed on, was I kept, like in real life, I kept slicing really, really bad. And then the last 2 holes, I was like, haha, I finally have clear weather. It's about time.
Yeah, when you remember
But you know what? The clear weather isn't always good, because you could land in the water and have clear weather and you don't move it. Where I was not playtesting, but doing a video the other day, and I hit a long drive in the water, but the wind pushed it on the fairway 2 tiles away from the hole. So, a good golfer would say, okay, I'm going to use the wind, and this is where I got to land. But you can get lucky sometimes, and so no wind is not always necessarily good. It just takes the pressure off of the shot, because wherever it lands, it's going to stay.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But you feel like the pressure, right? The tension.
Oh yeah. It's. I mean, those little elements were just so much fun. I think those things really, really made the game for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that came, as I was developing it, I just kept thinking of all the what is in golf. There's the hazards, and it was like, well, there's weather, wind definitely plays into it. So then I, came up with the dice, and because some people don't always like it, and I was like, well, give it a try, just play with it, just because they're like, oh, you have to flick, and it's too, there's like a little bit of luck to it. Well, you can't control the wind, you can't control the weather.
Yeah, no.
So it makes sense. It is kind of luck, like a luck of the draw, and you don't stick with the same weather the whole time. So each time you roll differently. So it could be windy 1 minute, and then it dies down and stuff like that. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that in there.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, it's so great.
So was that you that reacted when TGA responds to a Facebook message? Is that you, or is there anyone else?
Me.
So how do you feel about the cocaine bear rule?
Oh yeah. I treaded lightly on that one. Some of them I kind of stay away from. There's been some really fun stuff that people have been doing with the game, which is cool. Like people have been just coming up with things I haven't even thought of. So that's cool to see too.
Yeah. The cocaine bear rule is if you land on the bear spot, you're dead. You can keep playing.
It's a bear scare.
But at the end of the game, you are always 1 stroke higher than whoever scored.
Oh my gosh.
This game is ripe for house rules for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
House rule.
Cool.
But we
We
really
need to start doing
appreciate
those things.
this.
Yes.
Just so you know.
What?
He was
Really?
so excited when you got the email. Like he was just
I'm
was
like,
crazy.
oh my gosh, he responded.
Oh, he sent a text. We did this. What? He did. Oh my god, that's so cool. Oh!
I sent
Yeah,
that.
it's been nonstop. I mean, I would say 90% of it has been well done. But backer kit, unless you have everything done in backer kit correctly, the orders don't push automatically to the shipper.
Mm-hmm.
So every time I get an email, I got to go back into backer kit.
Oh my
see what's wrong with
gosh.
Oh boy.
What's wrong with the pledge manager? We've had actually a couple issues. I mean, it's for another probably. I think if you guys are open to it, just a podcast on Kickstarter designers, especially like small guys, I think would be a great Maybe you do that once a month. You feature a new Kickstarter.
Yeah, I would love to. That would be really cool. Yeah,
because their stories are going to be much different than Come On or
Yeah.
Oh, Come On.
Yeah. It's a whole nother world because I mean, actually, statistically, less than 1% of board games on Kickstarter get over $100,000.
Wow.
And if you drill it down to like a single guy like me, it probably it's very few and far between.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I would like to do that. If you want to reach out to other Kickstarters that are small guys, and I'll be a kind of like a fly on the wall for those. I'd be happy to do that.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, because I'd like to just hear their story too. I mean, it's see if
give you some good ideas for the future. We see what you're doing.
What not to do when launching a Kickstarter? That's my next.
Noted for next time.
Yeah, your next game will be a heavy Euro game where you're just trying to launch a Kickstarter and.
I mean, I know we're gone way over, but just this is like an interesting side note. Like when I first did the Kickstarter, you get your Kickstarter page, right? And you could send people a link so that they could see the page before you launch it. And they literally can put comments on the side. I don't know if you knew that, but they give you feedback. My first Kickstarter page had no stretch goals. And one guy says, no stretch goals. There's no way I'm pledging for this without stretch goals.
Oh.
And then all of a sudden I'm like, geez, I got to come up with stretch goals. I literally came up with those stretch goals like a day or two before we launched.
Wow.
So it sounds good, but the bad part is I didn't price it out.
Yeah.
I didn't figure into extra shipping. I did, the European expansion and the driving range expansion without figuring out extra weight, extra dimensions, extra costs, all this other stuff. You get in the weeds quickly, trying to do. Now, granted, my average pledge went up from $75 to $144, right? So that sounds great, but what are your margins? At the end of the day, it's still a business, and there's still a lot of creating the game is the easy part.
yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, so that's like that's a great question to ask people about stretch goals, how they came up with it, how they kind of factored it into the pledges and things like that, because I would like to learn more about that.
Well, I think it's a good conversation about like small business too, because you want to go to the big box store because you save money, but you're forgetting that you're hurting the person if you're not buying and like giving them, because I know I knit and I crochet. If I were to sell a blanket based on the amount of time I put into it, not just the yarn, you couldn't afford it because it's so much work, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a cake designer too, and the same thing. Like the the amount of time, like what you'd have to charge for a cake, like we wouldn't feel comfortable with that,
Yeah. I mean, it's a business. At the end of the day, I've been lucky enough to be in business and kind of had some of that background. But this is different. Consumer goods is a totally different animal. Like like let's say you're an agency or you're a consultant. There's not a physical good that you're making. Once you're making a physical good. I never met anyone at the factory. I never met anyone at the warehouse. I never met any, everything was in the hands of God because
it's just blind trust.
I'm all taking my money, and I was waiting for a picture from the warehouse that let me see a picture of the box. I wanted to. It's like, and it's it's not cheap. I mean, obviously, $20 a game cost minimum, right? Times 500, you're at 10,000. Then you're shipping, then you're receiving, then you're picking. All of a sudden, even though Kickstarter number sounds good, you take away credit card fees, you take away Kickstarter fees, you take away back fees, you take away all the money you spend on advertising, and it's like all of a sudden, it's like people think, it's not. The margins start to get tight.
Yeah.
So a lot of lessons learned there. Thankfully, it's all good, and I really appreciate the whole community, supporting me because again, I was a little bit involved in gaming groups and Board Game Geek and things like that, but not to the extent where people knew me. No one knew me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was something that another like big reason why I wanted to talk to you is to just get your name out because, like I said in our episode, like. Your game's not really being talked about yet in a lot of the board game groups I'm in. And I'm like, I want to get that word out there. So,
that was I love that actually. That was besides the balls. That was the other thing I really.
Nothing beats Angie's conversation.
Yeah.
I saw a post today, and the guy said we finally got to play it, and my gaming group doesn't normally play Dexterity.
I saw that.
Yeah.
And he's like, but they really enjoyed it, and that's kind of like where I think we're breaking a little bit of the mold of the Dexterity game, right? A little bit of like it's just a mindless flicking thing, like okay, this is actually has the theme works with the actual everything with the components. It's actually a golf game.
Yeah.
So anyway, I guess we could talk all night. I appreciate you.
We really could.
Yeah.
I gotta go put some kids to bed. So.
Oh, it's about that time.
And it's time to light up a cigar. I think. Don't you think?
Absolutely.
Not in this house.
So. I'll have to go outside.
Go and get.
In 2 years we'll be down there for your.
Less than 2.
Less than 2 years we'll be down in your area.
Oh yeah, they won't let me walk until 2025. I finished my PhD in the fall of the summer of 2024. Yeah, but they have the cohorts walk together to make life easier, so I can't walk till spring of 2025 So yeah, 2 years. You're right.
So yeah, we'll be in your neck of woods in a couple of years.
Look me up. Yeah, we do a lot of events and tournaments down here and stuff, and that's the other thing. So you're in Philly. We're trying to do a thing called an ambassador program. We're also trying to do an affiliate program. So if you guys, we're going to have a link so that you could sign up as an affiliate. I don't know if you're into this or not, but if you are, obviously you have a code. Every game that's sold through that link, you would earn,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I think it's 10%. So one lady reviewed our game, and we had 90 orders that weekend.
Oh.
Wow.
It was on TikTok. I think it was like. They're like a couple. I forget the name offhand, but the math was like literally over $1,000 that they would have had if they would have been an affiliate. So I mean, if you have a following, the affiliates. But the other thing is also we want to what we did is I'll ship you the oversized version of the game if you can host an event somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So all I want is to do, take pictures of it, people playing, maybe you can talk to a local brewery or someplace that's willing to do it.
Is it only for breweries? Because I'm hosting a gifted showcase in April, and I could totally use that with all the gifted kids in our entire IU.
Yeah, no, I'm just a heavy drinker, so for me.
Honey, as soon as this is over, Mama's going to get some wine, you know what I'm saying?
And my kids are 18 and 30 years old, actually. So, but I would love to sponsor
Alex is our surprise, just so you know. He was a surprise. Our other kids are like 10, so yeah, he's a surprise. Anyway, so back to April and the gifted showcase.
Yeah. No, we would. I have three copies of the oversized version.
Oh, cool.
We've shipped it out twice already, and I ship it out to you guys. You sign a little kind of form that you're gonna ship it back. No big deal, and do the event and take pictures and videos and send it back. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, because
awesome.
I mean, I don't see the oversized version being readily available anytime soon. So this is a way to just get just some more people
build interest. Yeah,
definitely to get the word out and show people what you can do with it.
White Knights in Williamsport.
I think White Knights would be a great place for that.
They have the space.
Listen to me. You put in a person that you come over, you help out with the gifted showcase.
Yep.
Take pictures.
There we go.
You're the publicist. Done.
So the only thing with the oversized version, if that ball falls from the table to the floor, it will break.
Yeah.
So
we'll make sure there are bumpers or something up.
Yeah, I came up with this little creative way to it was like a heavy yarn, and I literally tacked it around the table a couple of times.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
And it was an easy way to create a bumper without putting pieces of wood or boards on the table.
Yeah.
But but we'll I mean, it's not a big deal. If they break, we'll reprint. We'll just 3D print more of them. But
we don't want to do that though. Yeah.
Or you play it on carpet.
On the ground. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's do it. I mean, I would love to do that with you guys.
I can see being on the floor of the outside, them flicking it that way on the ground.
On the floor,
that'd be fun, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
lots of fun ways to do it.
I remember
so cool.
when I was getting into games, Rio Grande, I forget his name, but he sent me a giant version of Carcassonne. He sent me a giant version of this game called Chicken Cha Cha Cha, which
I've heard of that one. Yeah.
That's a name.
You got to get Chicken Cha Cha Cha. I mean, for kids.
Write that down.
All right, look this up.
It's a memory matching game.
I would rock it.
I would be terrible.
Okay. I would win right here.
I'd be awful, but I like it.
You take these little eggs and you create this random ring, and then the chickens have to move along the eggs based on matching the centerpieces with the track.
Oh my god!
That's cool.
My kids would love that.
And when they catch the other chicken, you're gonna love this. They take the tail feather of that chicken.
That's so cool.
I did a giant size version of this. It's the greatest.
Oh my gosh!
That you can imagine. Yeah. But that I appreciated. The guy didn't even know me. He sent it to me. We did these events, and it went really well. So I want to do the same thing.
Chicken cha-cha-cha game.
Cool.
I don't know.
Oh, no, I've seen this picture. I've seen this board. I've seen this before.
I think it's the greatest like kids game that you could probably play. It's so much fun. I think it's only up to 4 players, but it's just super cool.
It's on
I have
Amazon.
to take a look into that. That sounds awesome.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know if you could probably reach out to them. I don't know if they're still. I forget it. I could probably look it up if you don't find it. But if they have that oversized version for an event, that would be good.
Imagine the kids playing chicken cha-cha-cha. That'd be
Call
great.
me. I want to go. I want to play.
Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Seem adorable, and I'm glad you like our jokes. Angie, do you want to say goodbye?
Bye.
She loves you.
I just have to say, big balls, big tails, big box.
That's right.
Okay, so all right, so now that you said that,
Oh no! What did you do?
Whoa!
we do have the big box. We have actually. It's a little bit of a mess, but this is
I
actually.
gotta go now.
Well,
So many things. So many
This
ideas.
is everything that was in the Kickstarter in one box.
Oh,
Wow.
that's amazing.
That's
So,
so
yeah.
cool.
It's the bigger,
So
better
that-
box.
hey, PJ. That's a
The
big
thing
box.
is, obviously, that's huge. It's heavy. It's expensive.
It'd be
but
hard
it's
to cart around too. Yeah.
Dan,
Yeah.
look at all
But
that
actually,
wood.
no,
Look at all that wood.
I don't know what I'm going to do with all that wood, man.
But I was like, we need a big box version. But we may not do it for the wooden tiles. We may do it for the cardboard tiles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Lighter.
Maybe the space game will be the next Kickstarter.
I can't
I
wait.
really-
I'm so
Yeah,
excited.
that one.
We'll be in there. Yeah. We'll help you out there.
This game is a lot not heavier. I mean, but there's more to it. But what's cool about this game? So it's kind of like we have a cooperative version of this game.
Oh.
So the idea is, we don't have it 100% down, but the cool idea is that the black hole starts to expand as you're playing.
The black hole expands
Oh.
as you play. Angie.
So there's a timing mechanism, and obviously the whole board is kind of disappearing little by little. So that I'm really kind of like.
That's
thinking
pretty
that-
neat.
That is neat.
That's like the kind of like thinking in terms of Survive when the island starts
Escape
to
from
disappear.
Atlantis, yeah.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah, so something like that, and that other game with the island that it slowly disappears. I forgot.
Forbidden Island.
That one too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And Pandemic in a way. I mean, it has some.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like Pandemic.
Dexterity Pandemic.
Oh,
my
yeah.
gosh.
I suck at that game as
All
is.
right. You got me. You got me. Take my money right now.
I hate
Take it all.
Forbidden Island. I hate Pandemic, but I love Survive.
PJ, I just
Survive up there? Yeah.
Yeah, Survive is fun.
Yeah.
I love Survive.
Yep.
take my money.
Feed him to the sharks. Oh, sorry. I
Yeah,
said
we played a lot.
Survive.
We played a lot of Survive a lot of times. I like that.
So
game.
good. That
Ashley
game.
loves Survive.
I've never met a person who doesn't like that game. Every time we put that on the table, we end up playing it 3 more times because they're like, we need to play that again right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and it gets a little nippy,
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's fun. You get stories.
You get to test people's nerves in that game.
Friendships too.
It ruins friendships in the best way.
Yeah.
Not like Monopoly.
I say it at the beginning. We play here to win.
Yep.
If you want the consolation prize or whatever, that's not gonna happen here. We play to win. If you get upset, that's not like
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not malicious. You play to win. That's
Yeah.
all it is.
That's right. All right. Well, John Garcia, everyone with Table Golf Association, thank you again. We can't thank you enough. You are awesome, and
and
we
good
love talking
luck
with
on
you.
everything.
Yeah, congratulations. Good luck with what's to come. We can't wait to see what you do.
Thank you, guys. I look forward to a lot more of these. All right.
Oh,
Appreciate
good.
it.
Yes, definitely.
We look
Take
forward
care.
to your balls. Oh, sorry. I had to for Angie.
You have to close with that. I do
Had
that.
to.
Yep, that's it.
That's what I'm here for.
Take care.
All right, guys.
Have a great
Take care.
night.
Bye.